most people are not talking about, but this is a study from Norway, and they said that there's a decline in cognitive abilities of school students under LEDs. What did we do? Everything is LEDs. Because it's the first time you may be seeing this report, but just maybe there's some truth to it. The second thing that I want to point out is that when you walk around in New York City, which held this giant lighting fixture design competition for streetlights almost 20 years ago, they gave it to a system which is multiple points of light. You're walking under the streetlights with full cognitive dissonance because you don't have one shadow anymore. Previously, when you would walk, it would be one shadow till the next light picked up, and then you would have one from that one and one from the previous one, and then you can see what the throw of the light fixture was. You get the umbra, penumbra. Now you're getting multiple shadows. Just put your hand out and see the number of shadows. And it's not just in Manhattan, it's in all the boroughs. I also saw it in a recent trip to Florida and to Texas, that the idea of one source, one shadow, or one umbra, one penumbra is gone, because you're getting hundreds of little umbras and penumbras. So what's that doing for you as you see the architecture? It's like having an SLR camera which is constantly out of focus. What's that doing to your cognitive abilities to see the materials, to see the space, to see the architecture? That's a question that we all must ask, because it's actually having an impact, as per this study and many more like this, on cognitive abilities. It's also a question of how are you going to change your lighting design methodologies to accommodate for the new fixtures that are out there. How are you going to run the specs so that you don't have those kind of negative impacts of it? There's no going back to halogens, right? Generally speaking, there are two lobes, left brain and right brain. Left brain is analytical, right brain is emotional. What is a spy trained to do? Suppress their emotions and be super analytical, to beat a lie detector and so on and so forth. What they didn't factor in is that if I suppress your analytical brain and heighten your emotions, then you lose control on all the training that you've had. And he did that successfully for the KGB for decades. So he turned that training, he said, if I could make them talk and it was in that direction, I can also turn this around and help people. So he came up with this system, which we use quite often, called ABS, which is alternating binaural sound, combined with different colors fed to the two sides of the brain. Right? Then there is also monochromatic light. This is, you see that integrating sphere. And then, of course, the strobing light, which elicits different kind of brain waves, alpha, gamma, delta, etc. So your eyes are closed, and this is where the latent properties come in, right? This is the unobservable aspect of light, as using photons and waves interacting with matter for health were different than what we have now, right? There's a whole lot of neurodiversity. 26% of the millennials and Gen Z are neurodiverse. What does lighting do in connection to that? And how can we actually make it better for them? I'm here to talk about architecture and space and how we can do that at large. But if you talk about an individual and how we can utilize colored light or colored surfaces or an interplay of the two to make you feel better because you're going through this ailment or this challenge, our sister company does that. And we work with hospitals and we work with corporates. And now we're trying to get into the VAs to create spaces where if, for example, you have PTSD and depression from PTSD, because you went into this complete vicious cycle of stress related to PTSD. Then we are able to work with laterality of the brain, utilizing modalities that will clear out the hippocampus, which is in the center point of your brain, which is where all these memories are stored. How many of you here in this room have gone through high, acute, or chronic stress in your life? Show of hands. Those of you who have had no stress, I really need to know what drugs you're on, because that would be a Nobel Prize. So stress is an aspect of existence that we can't escape from. How we handle stress is really the issue here. So I'm here to talk to you about what does actually stress do to your body.